Like we wanted to live in that universe and go exploring. Like we can't do that in our modern day. Everything's already been explored. Feel like the freaking Truman Show. Welcome to Tairimo Boys Podcast. I'm your host Cody. With me in second chair is the boy who's 157 years old in space years. It's Jeremy.
Damn, that's old. I feel it.
Calm down, old man. With me in third chair is the boy who's our only hope for finding a new planet. It's Ryan.
Going on? You're all fucked, by the way.
But at least we had a chance. So we're breaking up our superhero and Schwarzenegger stuff with some sci-fi today. It's a Nolan movie, so it's kind of adjacent with the movie Interstellar.
That tracks.
But this movie came out in 2014. I remember hearing a little bit about it, but never got deep into it. I didn't know this movie had like an 8.7 rating on the IMDb,
It's up there.
but is it an 8.7 for the Tairimo Boys? That's the key question.
Stay tuned to find out if Interstellar is actually stellar.
It's out of this world. Jeremy, can you go ahead? Give me your first thoughts on this.
All right, boys, I have seen this one. I didn't remember a whole lot from it until I started watching it because to be honest, I'm not the biggest Matthew McConaughey fan. I did remember enjoying it. I enjoyed it a lot more as an adult, though.
Jeremy, this movie's only like 10 years old.
Okay, well, I was a baby adult 10 years ago, and now I'm an adult, almost middle aged, if you will. Okay, I enjoyed it much more 10 years later.
Okay. Ryan is a middle aged man. What's your opinions?
First of all, F you. Second of all, I'm gonna echo kind of what Jeremy said. I've seen this in I saw this in the theater the weekend it came out, and I enjoyed it. But I think I enjoyed it on this most recent rewatch a lot more than I did the first time.
Well, looks like I'm gonna be the odd boy out. This was the first time I ever saw this movie.
Ooh,
Whenever,
juicy.
yeah, well, whenever I recommended it, I went and watched the trailer of it and saw a bunch of cornfield stuff. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, is this gonna be like boring as hell? But this movie, like 8.7 on IMDb, it's earned. And the thing is it's a really smart movie if you really look into it.
I can agree with that. It is a Nolan movie after all.
Right, and this came out after Inception, right?
Yep,
When did The Dark Knight Rises come out? Was that before Inception?
2012. Yeah. What? No, I think Rises was after Inception.
Okay, so
I think. Yeah.
it was sandwiched between the two. Okay. Remember being in the theater, saw the three of us plus Mike.
Shout out to Mike. We're still waiting for you to come back.
So waiting for you to arrive at our D&D session. But during the Dark Knight Rises, I've said this story before. I remember getting to the part where Bane threw Batman into that prison hole, being like looking at the screen and being like, "Is this movie almost over with?" Whenever it came to Interstellar, this movie's like 2 hours and 49 minutes long, so it's about the same length. And I did not have that same feeling with this movie. Like I felt like time was like really well used.
Exactly. Great point.
Unintended.
Yeah, Cody, pun intended.
No, but
We know why time is great in this.
eventually we're gonna have to talk about time.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna put on our science boy lab coats today.
There's a reason I'm not a physicist.
And like, here's your little fun fact: like this movie is heavily based in like theoretical science. Nolan, he wanted to keep like this movie as like realistic as he could. I remember at one point someone had talked him out of using like faster than light travel, but they did, and here we are with this movie. Now, I do want to mention a few things. If you boys remember, at one point in time, we reviewed The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
At one point in time, yes. Puns intended all around.
Now, one of the things we loved about that movie was just the pure explorationness of space. Like, we wanted to live in that universe and go exploring. Like, we can't do that in our modern day. Everything's already been explored. I feel like the freaking Truman Show, if you remember that scene.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jeremy, did you get that same magical feeling of exploration from this movie?
I sure did. But those are not planes I want to explore.
I did. But I want to explore those planets.
Jeremy kind of ruined my joke. He's like, I kind of want to be exploring, but like the time shit in this movie is scary as fuck if you really think about it.
Yeah, it is. Those planets were scary as too.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why you guys want to explore those. God damn, count me out of that
Hold
one.
on, whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't want to explore those bastards. Ryan's the one who wants to explore them.
I need excitement in my life, Jeremy.
I'm not going to Wave Planet or Frozen Cloud Planet.
All right, those are terrifying planets.
I'm just so tired of everybody around me, like, having gone and seen the world, that I need to finally just be like, oh yeah, you went to Iceland? Well, I went to an ice cloud planet.
Yeah, top that one.
Yeah, you go freaking surfing on the Wave Planet and come back. It's been 23 freaking years. It's only been like an hour down there.
I went to a planet, ran into somebody who looked suspiciously like Matt Damon.
It's Jason Bourne in space.
I wait till we review that movie.
Yep, that's gonna be next in the series.
And since we're on the top of Hitchhiker's Guide, little fun fact for you: the robots in this movie were heavily based on the robots in Hitchhiker's Guide. I don't know if you boys got that same feel. I certainly did.
I did with their characteristics, especially the sarcastic one. What was it? What was his name? Tars, right? That was the sarcastic one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Robot of the year right there.
Now, here's your question. Jeremy, have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Negative.
Ryan?
Yes, I have.
Well, there's a little fun fact for everyone at home. I almost made these two boys watch 2001: A Space Odyssey, which, if you're unaware, it's literally 3 hours of watching shit float around in space to classical music.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But here's the thing. This movie, it feels like it's like a spiritual successor, I feel like, to 2001. But it's like modern, so instead of 2001 being an art movie like it is, like this movie, it's got action in it, it's got a sense of wonder.
It's got a lot of sense of wonder. Like they do such a good job of keeping you guessing about, you know, a certain few things throughout most of the movie.
Well, I can tell you this, I certainly didn't predict what was going to happen in the movie.
I
And
didn't either on my first watch through. I will say I want to be like the cool kids and say I figured out what was going to happen, but no.
if you can predict what's going to happen, you got freaking psychic powers.
Yeah, it's a good twist. It's also the way that they played it out. You know, with the whole like they're talking about ghosts and not ghosts, and then they think there could be aliens and things like that. They really do a good job of keeping you guessing what it could be.
Well, it's less aliens and more multi-dimensional beings. Huge
Hey, we
difference,
will get to
Jeremy.
that. We will get to that.
But a summary of the movie, real quick. This movie, it takes place in like the future. It's 2067. Like humanity's like on the verge of extinction because crops are constantly getting blighted and humanity's starving. So turns out that some kind of entity is being in contact with certain scientists and it's pointing them towards like a wormhole that goes to like another solar system with inhabitable planets on it. By the way, that wormhole was never explained. I just want to mention.
Uh-huh. Romley did too explain it. He took a little piece of
No,
paper. He's like, this is how it works.
he explained how it works. He didn't explain why it got there.
Didn't they mention it was put there?
It was put there, but who put it there, Jeremy?
They.
They.
That
Okay.
they're referred to as they. And that was before there were thems. Now we have they thems.
Well, yeah. There's like alien or interdimensional beings that are kind of guiding humanity, but humanity just doesn't have the technology. So we have Matthew McConaughey's character Cooper, who used to be like a NASA pilot, and well, as you can imagine, when humanity starts starving, NASA kind of goes to the wayside. He's got to lead a mission through the wormhole, surveying the solar system beyond.
Lucky.
Not lucky. That'd be scary as shit. You aren't going to having fun hitchhiker adventures. Got an ammonia-filled frozen cloud planets.
It makes you wonder what the third planet was like.
They showed the third planet at the end.
Oh, that was the third planet?
Yeah.
I missed that completely. Are you sure? I thought that was a station they built.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I don't think you're understanding what I'm getting at. So Brand, who's the lady astronaut, the planet she ended up on.
Oh,
That
yes.
was the third
Okay,
planet.
gotcha. That was the third planet.
Yep. And if they would have listened to her, they would have been fine and not had to deal
Well, I
with
don't
what
know.
they
She
did.
fucked up the first time. That, like, pretty bad
Oh
on the
yeah.
Wave
Oh,
Planet.
definitely. Yeah, she fucked up majorly. She got that guy killed.
100%. So did you expect NASA to be like an underground like secret in this movie? When you get that scene when Cooper gets confronted when they after he gets the coordinates from, the
Entity.
binary or whatever that was on the ground. Did you expect that?
No, because something I loved at the beginning of the movie is they were like pushing like propaganda in school that the moon landing was fake and all that in order to kind of do a Truman show. Like, yeah, you don't need to be explorers. Like, I didn't expect NASA to still be around, but it was kind of important for the movie to keep going.
I just wish the cigarette smoking man was just in all the NASA scenes in the background.
That's an X Files reference, Jeremy, by the way.
Good old X Files, one of my father's favorite shows of all time.
Here's the thing, though. The solar system they're like settling. It's got a freaking black hole in the middle of it. I don't. I think that would probably disqualify it automatically in real life.
Again, I'm not a physicist, but that's scary as hell. I would not want to be close to it.
Hey Ryan, what do you know? What happens if you actually go into a black hole?
You probably collapse in on yourself.
No.
What happens?
You don't want to make a guess, Jeremy. You just want the answer.
It stretches you out,
Kinda. It basically rips you apart atom by atom.
and then gives you superpowers.
No.
You can travel at the speed of gravity.
No, you die. You're
Oh,
ripped apart atom by atom.
Matthew McConaughey must have been the lucky one. You go, Cooper.
Yeah, in this movie, he's lucky where he gets 2001: A Space Odyssey and ends up in like the fourth dimension. But an important thing about black holes, they just suck in all matter around them. It's like a freaking vacuum in space.
A vacuum that doesn't need to be emptied.
I, I mean, it's literally destroying. Not, it's not just sucking; it's destroying. Like they think that eventually, like the whole universe is gonna die to black holes. I think that's the science anyway.
Sounds absolutely terrifying. I'll be long expired by then. Not the way I want to go out.
Well, Jeremy, the sun's gonna blow up in like 2 billion years.
Well, maybe I'll visit the wave planet for just a little bit so I can gain, everlasting youth.
So everyone at home, if you haven't guessed by now, time is like a really big thing in this movie. Like, we're terrible boys. We're not theoretical physicists and all that. Like one of the big things is they'll go to a planet and they know it's like, hey, gravity's different here and time is different here. So every hour we're on this planet is gonna be like 23 years on Earth. Are you boys familiar with like the original Planet of the Apes?
Uh, a little bit. I don't remember much from it, but I have seen it.
Well, the whole concept behind that is they're doing space travel and time's been like really short for them, but then when of course when they come back to Earth, like the apes have taken over.
See that whole aging thing, and then the reason I call it the everlasting youth is because Brand, Anne Hathaway's character, wouldn't she have aged when we see her at the end, like significantly?
I don't think so.
Because there was a
Well,
time gap.
there's a lot of like timey wimey bullshit.
There was definitely a time gap by the time Cooper was rescued.
Oh, I know what it is. So you remember how on Wave Planet 23 years had passed?
Yes.
At the end when they're using like the black hole to slingshot around,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they're like, oh, hey, we're no matter what we do. So time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
her slingshotting around is like making what was it like a maybe like 120 years pass, like 120 Earth years pass, and it would just been like maybe 10 minutes for her.
So it would have been okay. I get that part, but then there's also a time lapse before Cooper gets rescued.
Well, that's the
That's
Cooper.
the one I don't get.
Jeremy, now we're gonna talk about multiverse theory.
I know because my head hurts.
Okay, well, okay. So if you don't want to be spoiled on this movie, you can go watch the movie and return and discuss it with us by listening.
Be a
Oh,
scientist boy with us.
theoretical physicist with boy with us.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
Cooper, Matthew McConaughey's character, ends up getting sucked into the black hole at the end. It's like I don't understand his whole sacrifice thing because they could have just dumped a whole bunch of junk if they needed to lose weight. But he does, and he ends up in like the fourth dimension. Actually, I think it was like the fifth dimension, and What it
Yeah,
is like just an endless library of like his daughter's bedroom, and you find out like the ghost in the movie was like him interacting throughout time with it. Because like in this dimension, like time doesn't matter. Time and gravity, they really don't matter, and they could be manipulated in the past. Here's the scary thing about this movie. This movie implies that there's like no free will. Like time is like chiseled in stone.
but can be changed.
No, it can't. Can't be changed.
They could have changed it if he went back. If he actually got himself to stop. Remember when he was spelling it out when he was in ghost form at the beginning of the movie for his daughter, and she reads it. She says, "This says stop
Yeah, but
or
if
stay, rather."
yeah,
If he stayed, all
but
of humanity would have gone extinct.
but if he would have stayed, then he would have never made the black hole and would have never been able to send the stay message,
Which implies it's already happened.
which means time is chiseled in stone. Like he's destined.
Yeah, he is. He's destined to it.
And it's not just him; it's like everything's chiseled in stone. It seems like, guys. The big thing is like we're not dealing with aliens or interdimensional. Well, we're kind of dealing with interdimensional beings here. It's basically humans in the future ascended to a higher plane of existence, and they're kind of manipulating the whole situation.
Which is a crazy loop of time.
Well, they're in a higher dimension, so time really doesn't matter to them.
So
Right.
it's just endless fun for them. Like, I'm sorry, Cooper, you got to go through this,
Well,
infinite times.
someone has to go, and someone has to save them so they can ascend a higher plane.
But could it be implied that he was the first fifth dimensional being, and that's why
No,
it's happening?
he was no. Dick, how familiar are you with Lovecraft?
Not at all.
Okay, well, if you're familiar, at least a tiny bit familiar with Lovecraft, you know that madness is really important in Lovecraft's writings. And the reason people go mad is their brains are starting to comprehend stuff that their mortal minds aren't supposed to understand. And
Well, my mortal mind doesn't understand this.
yeah, well,
Again, I'm not a
he
physicist.
got sucked into a higher dimension, which humans are us and being three-dimensional beings aren't meant to access, and he tried making sense of it and was able to do what he did. Ryan, you got anything to say?
My
Nope.
head hurts. God damn it! I knew this was gonna happen. This review. I already got a headache.
But to ultimately answer your question, for some reason, black hole ended up fifth dimension, fourth dimension, whatever it was. I think it was fifth dimension. Ended up spitting him out at like a random place in time.
Wait. Hold on. We gotta back up just a second. Wasn't it Romley that was talking about how they do not have the data of what it would be like to go through a black hole, and they needed that to understand to solve the gravity equation?
Yes.
Okay, so then wouldn't that mean Cooper was the first one to go through the black hole? Because they had no previous recorded data of it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him go through the black hole. You would
So he was the first one. So it wouldn't make sense that he is the first fifth dimensional being?
no, because he goes into the fifth dimension, but he's not.
Well, yeah, I guess he doesn't get spat out.
Jeremy, if I took you and shoved you into a piece of paper, would you be the first two-dimensional being?
No, but I go through a wormhole. Romley
No, I'm
said
just
so.
grabbing you and shoving you into the paper, Jeremy.
Oh, no. I might get a paper cut, though. It's not very nice.
See, you're not a two-dimensional being. You're a three-dimensional being trapped in two dimensions. But Cooper was a three-dimensional that got sucked into a fifth dimension.
Okay.
Isn't this a fun review?
It's a painful one.
This whole movie's like really theoretical sciencey, by the way, everyone. Just I'm
Holy
familiar.
shit.
I'm very familiar with theoretical science.
Yeah, I'm just going to shut my mouth. Okay, sorry. Cody, he gets pooped out the other side of the black hole somehow.
Yeah, ends up getting kicked out of the fifth dimension, and then ends up getting saved. And it's been 150 years due to the black hole, the wave planet, and I don't know if the fifth dimension had any added additional time, but that's what happened. Does it make sense, Jeremy?
Sure.
Okay, well,
I'm going with it.
let's move on.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to do a deep science discussion with this.
And that's hard to do because I'm not a deep science guy. So, yeah, let's move on.
So, moving on, here's a little fun fact. The black hole, they ended up using a computer program to make that. It ended up being 800 terabytes of data.
Wow.
They programmed like all these algorithms in it to get it working. And I'm not gonna say it's 100% accurate because they apparently left like some blue thing out of it because it wouldn't make sense to the viewers at home. But they ended up writing like scientific papers on the black hole they made in this movie.
That's really cool, and it looked amazing in the movie.
Yep.
This movie really is jaw dropping.
It's really the like 2001 A Space Odyssey of our age. I swear I'm gonna make you boys watch that so we can watch shit float around. That just won't be anytime soon.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
But anyways, moving on. Ryan, what'd you think about like Matt Damon's character?
I remember the first time I watched that movie, he freaking jump scared me at one point.
It was whenever he's
But
coming out of the cryo
I
chamber,
liked
right?
his other Martian character better.
It was whenever he's coming out of the cryo chamber, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Jeremy?
Very big fan of Matt Damon, like a lot of his movies. I actually enjoyed the character that he played. Like I hated the character, but like I like how he played it so well.
Well, that's how you make a villain character.
hmm There were a couple villains here in this movie.
Well, I think Matt Damon's probably the biggest villain in the movie. His character,
Although he was only going to finish a mission from a certain other villain.
I don't think the old man, Nigel Powers slash Alfred.
You just don't want to see Alfred as the bad guy. Admit it. Admit it. He was too the bad guy.
He wasn't.
It was kind of. I guess it's like a lesser of two evils type of bad guy.
No, Ryan, give us your opinions on Dr. Brand.
Jeremy, why are you saying he's a bad guy?
I'm saying he's a bad guy because not telling the truth of the mission.
Okay, so you think that makes him the antagonist?
Yes.
All right, Cody, why do you think he's not the antagonist?
I think he got himself in over his head. Like Jeremy doesn't even understand the science I'm explaining to him. I think maybe he thought humanity's almost extinct, and he thought, I was like, maybe I can figure this out, but probably not. So here's Plan B. But yeah, he just didn't figure out Plan A.
Poor Alfred.
That's what makes a good character.
Whoa.
Okay, he's a good and bad guy.
Whoa, Ryan! I don't like the whole you fence sitting on this. What do you think?
Yeah, we got to know now.
We need a tiebreaker.
I don't think he's an antagonist.
All right, I won.
Okay, fair enough.
However,
Up, up, up.
he didn't lie. So, hard for me to decide. Moving on.
I love it.
Viewers at home, watch the movie and you decide for yourself and leave us a comment on it. But that just goes to show you it's a well-written character view. If we can't decide if it's a villain or not.
Seriously, I loved all the characters in this, and the cast was absolutely killer.
Yeah.
I saw no wrong with the cast.
Yeah, I was recognizing everyone throughout the movie.
And speaking of the cast, again, I mentioned earlier, I'm not the biggest Matthew McConaughey fan, but if I had to point my finger at one of my favorite movies for his performance, this is one of them. This is up there.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a solid script, too.
Oh, yeah. Script is key here in this movie. There's no way you can do a 3-hour movie without a decent script.
Yeah, well, and the science behind it has to be kind of
Confusing.
realistic.
Yeah, that word, realistic.
And by the way, Spielberg was originally supposed to direct this movie, but he went on to other projects and handed it over to Nolan. Nolan and his brother wrote the entire script. Hey, Ryan, Nolan wrote Oppenheimer, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I was trying to think, I was like, what did he do recently? I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's enough theoretical science for today. So, Jeremy?
Yep.
Pass topic on to you.
Ooh. I want to ask you boys a question. Did you ever feel this movie was slow at any point in time?
No. Like I said earlier, this isn't like a Dark Knight Rises situation. Like, I didn't even know 3 hours had passed when I watched it. And I was counting too. It takes like 42 minutes for Cooper to leave Earth.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Ryan, did you feel like it was slow at any point in time?
Not really.
I gotta say,
At least
boys,
during the second rewatch.
yeah, especially during the second rewatch. Like I enjoyed it so much more this time around. Even though it's a 3-hour movie and it's not like the typical type of action like that I'm used to or a lot of the stuff that we watch, I never got bored during this movie whatsoever. Like I was always engaged. There was always something going on, and there's great character development in here as well.
Well, that's the important thing. When you have a whole movie dedicated to like the theoretical science behind time passing, and he's trying to get back to his family. His son, though, got screwed. He didn't get to see his dad again.
Yeah, his son did. He got the short end of the stick the whole movie. Like, I felt bad for him the entire movie. How'd you boys feel about when they had aged and they were watching tapes and things like that, and people are just how would you feel? Like, put yourself in that position, because I thought about it for a second. It's like watching your loved ones age
Yeah,
while you were only gone for
an
an
hour.
hour,
Yeah.
and their life just flashed before your eyes.
Yeah,
How'd you guys feel?
when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is probably why this movie's got an 8.7 on IMDb. It's because this movie knows how to hit you in the emotions.
Right now, how'd you feel? Did it get you in the emotions?
First of all, I was confused because for a second I thought you said, "How did you feel when they had AIDS?" And I was like, "Wow, that was a twist I didn't pay attention to."
Another one of the blights.
Yeah. Did it hit me in the feels? If I were capable of experiencing human emotions, it would have.
I respect you as a soulless man. That's all I got.
All right, Ryan, pass topic on to you.
Favorite scene?
I didn't ask this one on purpose.
Now I am.
The reason I didn't ask it because this is a hard one.
A very hard one.
Yeah, the movie overall is like really good. I just can't choose a favorite scene.
Oh, we have to pick
Yeah,
something.
I know. I'm trying to think.
There's one thing I've learned about life is if there's something that's really hard to do, don't ever do it.
It's such a great way of viewing it.
I mean, laziness is my strategy, so
It's a win-win.
I'm gonna say like whenever Cooper finally gets rescued at the end of the movie, because it's like the whole payoff of the movie. It's like, yeah, he's watching his daughter die of old age, but hey, at least there's hope now.
Yeah, that's a good scene. I would have to say anytime after the confrontation with Matt Damon, like the whole stretch, like up into the where they're actually docking.
Yeah, and he gets himself
That
killed.
kept me on. Yeah, that kept me on the edge of my seat. But it also brought like the best line in the whole movie to me, because what was it that Cooper asked Tars? You guys remember?
Don't.
No.
It's something about like, Tars, what's your trust setting at or something, and he says it's lower than yours apparently.
Oh yeah, I know what you're like. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I'd say that intensity, that sheer intensity, was probably made it my favorite scene.
Yeah, well, like I said, Matt Damon's character is really well written because it's supposed to show the guy that's just gone absolutely insane.
Ryan, what do you got for us? What's your favorite scene?
When Alfred told Murph they were all gonna die, it was hilarious. I was like, "Ha ha, you're all getting Thanos."
I love it.
All right, Jeremy, final thoughts?
This is a stellar movie, if you will.
Damn it!
Yes, low hanging fruit, baby. Yes, I mean, this is a fantastic movie. Phenomenal cast, amazing script. You're not bored at all. 3 hours feels like nothing in this movie. Puns intended.
Ryan, final thoughts?
This was a really great movie. Screw you, Jeremy.
Taking his pun. Yeah, like I said, this is the first time I've seen this movie. I thought if you watch the trailer, you're thinking like, "Oh, I'm probably gonna be bored with this," but this movie just completely surprises you. And if you like theoretical physics and all that, you'll definitely love this movie.
Well, I can tell you I don't, but I absolutely love this movie.
Jeremy,
so
do
there
you think
go.
the people giving this like really high scores on IMDb even know like basic physical science?
Good point.
It's like I said, it's a 2001 A Space Odyssey of our current era. That movie pretty much set the foundation for like Star Wars and Star Trek. So there you go. You know what? Let's do ourselves a favor here. Let's do some boys in action.
I was wondering where this is at.
That was like, do we really want to do this? But Jeremy, if you were in this movie, where would you die?
Oh, the cornfield, easily. I would have crashed into a windmill or something. They couldn't see where they were going.
A windmill, really?
Sure, or I would have drove over the edge. There's no way
Okay.
I'm making it out of there alive.
I'll take that.
Okay.
What about you, Ryan?
Damn, I was gonna say in the water right before he stopped the truck.
Well,
I wouldn't have stopped the truck.
you're free to copy it. There's no rules that we can't repeat things.
All right.
We can
Done
die
that.
together, Ryan.
Thelma and Louise in it.
You boys are on the right thing. I think I probably would have starved as like a kid or something.
You would have got the old cough. The old valley fever,
not
as
the
we call it.
cough. I'm talking about like starved. Like there's not enough food for
Oh.
me.
You poor soul. I'd much rather drive over a cliff than starve, so.
So none of us make it to space.
Nope.
Humanity's pretty damn doomed.
Yep, gonna need a plan C off that bitch.
All right, well, boys in action done. It's time to scale this bad boy. So today we've got the space scale. So Jeremy, on a scale of The Empire Strikes Back to Battlefield Earth, where would you rank this movie?
Oh, god damn it! What? Gotta ask that. Um,
That's why the scale exists. It's to, it's to inflict deep
I'm gonna.
moral questions on you.
Yeah, this is about as moral as it gets. You know what? We're gonna actually put this a smidge under New Hope. There we go. That's fair.
How far is A New Hope under Empire Strikes Back?
A few notches.
Is it above Return of the Jedi?
A New Hope is above Return of the Jedi, and so is Interstellar.
Okay. What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna do the same.
That is a really really tough one. That's a very hard scale, sir. Oof.
That's why I did it.
Yeah, it's
I thought about
conflicting.
doing like a Nolan scale, but we play a little bit too much
Son of a
Dark Knight into
bitch.
scale slightly. But like I've mentioned before, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I'll rank it up there with The Empire Strikes Back.
How dare you?
It is one of the best Star Wars movie. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to an episode of Tairimo Boys Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us all the theoretical science stuff we talked about earlier. I told you to post. Oh, no, wait. It was the villain thing. Yeah. If the guy's a villain. Anyways, don't forget to ring that motherfucking bell. Stay tuned for more episodes.